Hello everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. We're outside St James, as you can probably see in the background, where Newcastle have drawn 0-0 with bottom of the league Norwich City. Here with Sam, I'm going to score the players. I was going to call you Scam there, but I'm going to call you Sam instead because that's your real name. Sam, Martin Dubravka has probably kept us in it today.
Yeah, Dubravka wasn't a scam today, my word. It was an awful game, to be fair. He's made two real class saves to keep us in the game.
The first half header from the corner as well.
He's just two good goalkeepers on show today. Dubravka, he's always good for an 8.
Yeah, 10 for Dubravka. DeAndre Yedlin was lucky to play 52 minutes for me today, because any time Newcastle had a chance of going forward and actually really causing a threat, especially in the first half, what let us down? Crosses. We've said this every single time with DeAndre Yedlin. His crosses are woeful, and it did stop our attacking threats in the first half. Second half, Steve Bruce has had enough. He got a yellow card and then got slung off.
He got some good positions.
He did,
but just couldn't do anything with it. It was really frustrating, because I said to Lee when Lazaro come on, if he can cross, we're in business.
Yeah, for sure. But DeAndre Yedlin only gets a 3 out of 10 for me today. First centre half, Federico Fernandez. Sam, steady, but again, he had a tough afternoon with Timo Pukki at times.
Pukki did well. I thought. Pukki did well. I thought Fernandez was probably the strongest of the 3 centre backs today. Some of his passing was quite tidy. Scoring wise, I mean, at the end of the day, defence had a clean sheet and he didn't make any mistakes. So he was the strongest of the 3. So I'll go 7.
Jamaal Lascelles next to him. I think similar to Sam, you got to look at the clean sheet aspect, but Pukki, Cantwell, Buendia when he came on as well, he caused us a lot of issues at times. But Norwich were getting chances from that. I don't know. I'm going to go straight down the middle, Jamaal Lascelles. I'm going to go 5 out of 10 from him. One thing I will say to him is that he's the only person that goes on the whole ground and claps and says, thanks very much for your support. If anybody else could do that, I'd be grateful when we're watching that dire.
He loves being the captain of this football club. You can tell. He really does.
So if more people could do that when it's 0-0 against Norwich, that'd be greatly appreciated. Next to him, Kieran Clark nearly scored an own goal from Pukki's shot, which Dubravka saved. But again, it was meh, as I'm going to use the word.
Yeah, rightly so. It was meh. He did fine. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. Meh. 6 out of 10.
Matt Ritchie. I thought positionally he was a bit dodgy first half. I think you could see Kieran Clark and Fernandez screaming at him, saying you need to be further out wide, and he was kind of tucked in, and we looked very tucked in, all 5 defenders at times. Attacking wise, he had one cross for Joelinton and didn't really do anything. He had a free kick which went over the crossbar. Nothing really of substance. I think Danny Rose could potentially take his spot going forward, and maybe Matt Ritchie might be better going forward. Who knows? But
he can cross.
Yeah, I'll go 5 out of 10 for Matt Ritchie. We're going to the midfield. Isaac Hayden only got 55 minutes. He had a bit of a knock, but he didn't seem happy when he came off. No,
I thought he struggled today. They were finding some space around him. I don't think it was his greatest game, hence why he got subbed off. I like Hayden, and I liked his reaction when he went off. He kicked a bottle. He was not happy, but he didn't play well. Although he did make one cracking tackle in the first half.
He did.
That was his highlight. Everything else was pretty average, so 6.
For Bentleb, I would have gone a bit lower for Hayden now, because I was going to give Bentleb a 6. I'll still give him a 6. I thought he was a little bit better than Hayden. He demands the ball. He's got a bit of bite about him with these tackles. I think if he can kind of just calm it ever so slightly, I think we've got a really good player on our hands. I think he just needs to get more game time. And I think Bentleb will get the chance to show what he's really all about. I think people were expecting it today against Norwich, but I did think that Norwich had a bit of a good plan. I think Daniel Farke has put 3 in midfield for most of the time, where Cantwell was just a bit of a nuisance as well. But yeah, I'll go 6 out of 10 for Bentleb. Alan Saint-Maximin, Sam, he had little bright sparks, but I think fans started to get a little bit frustrated with him with too many touches on the ball today. What did you make of his performance this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm all for fancy tricks and whatnot, but when you're in your own half surrounded by 3 Norwich players, there's not really need for step overs and fancy stuff. Just pass it. He was bright in the first half. He got a few shots away. There was no real substance in his shooting.
There was one shot in the second half which Krul had to tip round. Whether that was a cross or a shot, who knows?
That was probably his best spell of the game. there wasn't really much happening with him apart from that. 6, 7, 6.
6. I think we're kind of going with 6 from that. I'll take 6 for that. Miguel Almiron tried, and he was better. He was better than last week. I would just like to see a bit more attacking threat from Miguel Almiron. I just think, you know what, maybe just have a few shots just to see, test the keeper. You know, there's times where he was doing stuff for the team where he passes it to saint-maximin, trying to pass Joelinton. Sometimes you just need a bit more greedy, a bit more selfish, and just go for it yourself and test the likes of Tim Krul, who was in goal for Norwich today. So, yeah. They didn't really do a great deal going forward. I'm going to go 6 out of 10. He should have actually, saying that, he should have scored in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
When Joelinton headers it, and it's a good save from Krul, and it comes back out to Almiron, which he should score. But again, I'll go 6 out of 10. Joelinton, Sam. Frustrating afternoon for him again. We kind of thought when he scored against Rochdale, maybe the start of something, but he was just running. All he was doing was running and closing people down. And Norwich and Grant Hanley just had a bit of a dinner job on him, really, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a pretty easy afternoon's work, the Norwich centre-backs. It's very easy to criticise Joelinton, but I'm not going to kick the boot in too hard because he did work really hard today. As you said, he was running and closing down and tracking back.
Only one real chance on goal, that header in the first half.
But was there a moment in the game where Almiron or saint-maximin could have got the ball into him? Not really. There just wasn't anything for him to do or to latch onto. So there was lots of effort, but there was just nothing for him. I think lower than 5 would be harsh, but at the end of the day, it was 0-0 against bottom of the league, so you can't really score him too highly. So yeah, down the road, 5.
5 out of 10 for Joelinton. Substitutes, first substitute was Valentino Lazaro, who got taken on for DeAndre Yedlin, who had a shocker. Bright sparks. Thought first 10 minutes he looked okay. A couple of nice passes towards Almiron, nice little curling passes. I just don't think that position of being right wing back is going to suit him. I think he needs to be better further forward. And maybe we need to change the formation, but can I say that happening? No. Didn't really have a lot of time to kind of get into the game. I'm just going to go 5 out of 10, but it's more on the reflection of I don't think that position is going to suit him, but we'll see. Hopefully I'm proved wrong. Sean Longstaff was next, Sam. Came on for Hayden. Obviously Hayden wasn't happy. Longstaff and Hayden, could you tell who was playing out of the two? Because I think both did just as okay as each other, really.
Yeah, he did fine. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I don't know why he's on free kicks, because we saw him practicing before the game and they weren't going over the wall. Again, I said to Lee, if this goes over the wall, it'll be a miracle, and it hit the wall. So yeah, I mean, his work rate was fine. He sprayed some nice passes around. What did we score, Hayden? 6? 6 it is for Sean then.
And at the end was Danny Rose, came on with about 12-15 minutes to go. Gave away a free kick, gave away a few corners, but he made a couple of nice passes going forward. That's what I say, forward passes. I hate it when people have the ball and will look to go backwards at times. Sometimes people should be telling you can take that ball and take it forward. But yeah, obviously Danny Rose he's not going to get the highest marks because he was only on for 15 minutes. I'll go 5 out of 10 for Danny Rose, but again, I'd like to see him start against Oxford. I would like to see him start and show what he's all about. I think maybe it was just a bit too late for him to start today against Norwich. Steve, Bruce, Sam, we'll try and both agree on this one as we normally do. 0-0 at home against Norwich. Norwich were the better team, should have won the game. Another point closer to safety. Yeah. Team selection, could you have maybe argued about it?
Well, not really.
Would you have liked to see Lazaro start? Would you like to see Danny Rose start? Would you have liked to see
Rose? You could
other
understand.
Options maybe.
Rose you could understand because he's only been at the club one full day. Lazaro, yes, I probably would have liked to have seen start, especially as Yedlin had a bit of a shocker. There's no striker on the bench, so we had no options with players coming off the bench.
I was going to go for 5, and that was being harsh. That's been generous rather. Just because.
What else could he have done though? Really?
I think maybe change the formation. Maybe just change it going forward, because with Almiron and saint-maximin, for me, I think he could have taken one of them off earlier. Maybe Maximin taken off earlier and just maybe gone somewhere closer to Joelinton, because he was struggling today. And if, like, at home against Norwich, I'd rather you kind of go for it a little bit more. But I think he was happy to take the point in the end.
Yeah, we were. There was only one. We could have been playing all night here and we weren't scoring.
I don't know how Norwich didn't score. Steve Bruce gets a 5 out of 10. Get your player ratings, scoring the player marks. Who was your man of the match? Who do you think was the best out of the 3 new signings when they came on? Obviously, Valentino Lazaro played more minutes than Danny Rose, but who do you think will be the best player out of those 3 from now to the end of the season? And what changes would you make for the game against Oxford on Tuesday? Lee will be there covering it for Newcastle Fans TV. So yeah, get your scores in, like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you later on this evening.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. In the dark's all that I see. When your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound.